Once again, hi everyone, welcome to Implant Software's webinar titled Risk Management in Medical Device Development. My name is Christoph Horvath and I will be your host today, along with my colleague Peter Holle. Peter is a member of our pre-sales team, and today he will be responsible for the live demonstration, so he will show you how codeBeamer supports your risk management processes. Before we start, a few words about today's agenda. First, we will discuss the basics of medical device safety and why managing risk is important. We will then quickly go through a general risk management lifecycle, and we will also discuss how the method called Healthcare Failure Mode and Effects Analysis, or HFMEA, could help you progress through this risk management lifecycle. And finally, we will show you how risk management is done in practice during a live demonstration with codeBeamer. After the presentation and the live demonstration, you will get a chance to ask all your questions during a question and answer session. And please note that a recording of today's webinar will be available on our website soon after the session. So when visiting our webinars and events page, please make sure you take a look at our upcoming events and workshops, and feel free to sign up for any of these events. Moving on, just a few words about Implant Software. The company was founded in 1998 in Stuttgart, Germany. And we also have partners in Korea and Taiwan, and another office in the Silicon Valley in the US. As most of you probably know, we are the developers and the only vendors of codeBeamer ALM, which is a fully integrated and complete application lifecycle management solution. But Implant is also providing consulting and services from Germany with the mission to help our clients manage the complexity of their development processes. Speaking of which, you can see a short list of our clients here. As you can see, we are serving customers from various industries, such as the automotive, the high technology, defense, and finance sectors, as well as, of course, the medical industry. We have clients ranging from mid-sized companies to large global enterprises, such as Siemens, Lufthansa, and Samsung. All right, so over to today's main topic, risk management in medical device development. Now, this may not come as a surprise to most of you, but safety is actually the single most important aspect when it comes to medical device development, because human lives may be dependent on these safety critical devices. Their developers have to make sure that their end products will not harm these patients. Now, statistics show that malfunctioning medical devices cause a lot of harm to patients in developed countries. And aside from the obvious concerns of potentially affecting human lives and damaging human lives, these issues could also have grave consequences on the business interests of the companies developing these devices. Both lawsuits and model recalls could seriously damage the profitability as well as the reputation of these companies. And according to data from the US Food and Drug Administration, software failures were responsible for 24% of medical device recalls in 2011. Now, that's a huge portion of recalls, and this leads us to our next topic of why risk management is important in medical device development. Well, simply because catching risks early costs you less. So just imagine a simple scenario. If you catch a potential problem early on in the design and planning phase, you can simply prepare for it. So let's say you can adjust the design of the product accordingly. And, a member or two of your development team may have to work a little bit more, a few more hours on the problem, but that's it, that solves the issue. However, if you only realize a serious problem after the product has been released, you may have to issue a recall, which could potentially cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. What's more, managing your risk could also help you develop your products faster and in better quality, overall resulting in a product that is safer and more reliable to use. If that all wasn't enough, certain regulations in both the EU and the US require you to ensure adequate risk management processes. So basically, without this, your product cannot be put out on the market. Now, while there are various regulations depending on what kind of product you're working on and which market you're trying to enter, some of the most widely used standards are seen here on the slide. As you will see during the live demonstration, codeBeamer's risk management functionality helps you achieve compliance with ISO 14971, and we also offer a dedicated template for IEC 62304. And codeBeamer's advanced features support compliance with the relevant FDA regulations as well. So how does one get started with risk management? Well, to help you understand the process, here's a quick rundown of what risk management is really all about. First, you will identify all the potential risks and analyze these to be able to determine First, their probability, so how likely they are to occur. And second, their severity, so how much trouble these risks, these failures could cause once and if they occur. Then you will investigate your options to reduce and possibly mitigate these risks. But you have to know that you can never completely remove all your risks. That's impossible. So you will have to determine an acceptable level of risks, and you'll have to make sure that you reduce your overall risk level below this acceptable level. And last, to ensure compliance with the standards and regulations that we have discussed before, you will have to document and report on your risk management processes and all the mitigation actions that you have taken.
My name is Peter, and here we go in our codeBeamer. And now in the live demonstration, I'm going to show you two templates of ours. One for is the IEC 62304 template for the compliance of management standard, and the other one will be the FMEA process standard, which is the ISO 14971. And to start with the medical IEC template, you see this is our wiki page of the project, where you can have where you have a complete description of the project itself and of the content. And once you scroll down, you have direct links to the content of the project, such as like the processes, the traceability, and also the releases, and also some description on, for example, the software risk management lifecycle. Now, once we go into the trackers, you will see, and probably you know, that the risk management process runs parallel with the lifecycle of the product, from the design phase to the end of your lifecycle. And on the left-hand side, in the work items, you see listed that when the customer requirements, in other words, the market needs, are collected. After that, you can define the system and also the software requirements from it, and you can also design the architecture. And then once you have defined and designed these requirements, then the first assessment of the risks can be done. And after the theoretically foreseeable risks are collected, each of them must be addressed, and the risk reduction must be planned and implemented. And in many cases, this risk reduction results in changes in the system and the software requirements, and also in the architecture. So codeBeamer makes it probably that you can make this so you can derive your risks directly from your requirements, and also you can derive these requirements from your risks as well. Now, let's go to our risks, and to show you how the workflow looks like for the risks, which is now a flow chart exactly, and this demonstrates to you that we are using currently now. Once you register a new risk, this will be in the status new. Then it moves to verified, and after the verified status starts the analyzation, and you have to define your reduction plan, and then only after that the risk will be mitigated, or from the very beginning, if it is useless, you can go directly to the mitigated stage. Now go back to our risks, and just to show you the properties of our risk tracker, which you can also see on the right hand side, but I will go into the detailed view so you can see it much better. So first you have to identify the risk, and once you have identified, you have to add certain properties to it. The first is the situation, usually when this use case and problem may occur, and this is now highlighted and shown in the title of this risk. And then you have to define the hazard, the consequence of the problem in the patient or the personnel, then the triggering event, which event that directly triggers the occurrence of the problem, then the harm, which is the effect of the hazard in the person affected, and the likelihood, and also the severity values, which are representing the probability of the occurrence, and also how serious the problem is. And both values are defined by the quality manager at your organization. And you can see these values here. And also we have another value, which is the risk value. And this value is calculated automatically by the system, which is a multiplication of the likelihood and the severity. And based on this value, your risks will be ordered to your risk matrix diagram and will be visualized in the right section of your diagram. And now, once you have defined this risk value, you can move forward and plan your risk mitigation and move it to the next stage, which is now we have planned mitigation and also these values are planned. So actually this risk is now in the mitigated section, but now I will show you an example from customer requirements through the software requirements. And then it will end up in the risks, and I will show you how it looks like in the risk matrix diagram. So now first start with from the customer requirements. Therefore, previously I created this requirement, this CT scan device. This is our customer requirement. I'll show you the workflow of this customer requirements. So this is the graphical visualization. So you now see, as previously seen, we are in the status new, and we would like to go to the accepted stage. And once this customer requirements is being accepted, we can derive the software requirements from that and also the risks. And you see here next to this state transitions, we used a customized action, which is now validating the user signature. So therefore, if we would like to proceed to the accepted stage, we have to add our personal password. So user signature, which now will be our password to log into the system. Now go to our customer requirements. Click on the digital CT scan device, and you see the properties on the right-hand side. Currently, we have no signature. But we have a business value, status, and also some complexity. Now I would like to run my accept workflow to the accepted stage. And this is the pop-up window. Here we can see we can add our signature, and this also highlighted with the red asterisk that this is a mandatory field in this phase. So now I will add a simple workflow, a simple signature, try to save, and you see it's been validated that currently the signature I added was invalid. Now I added my valid workflow, and now you see I could be able to run this state transition. And from here I would like to generate and derive a software requirement, which will be, so I would like to have a software to provide the picture motion compensation. So like it will help you to improve the quality of your records. Compensator, okay. I will also add the description. Click on save, and now I can go directly to my software requirements, and here it appears our new software requirement. And from the software requirement, I will generate a risk in connection with this one. But before we do that, I'm going to show you in the wiki section our risk matrix diagrams. So once I scroll down, this is our risk matrix diagram, and you see we are using two angles. One is for the likelihood from a scale from 1 to 6. And the other one is the severity from 0 to 100. And based on this matrix, we are ordering these risks accordingly to our matrix diagram. And here in this example, you see we have the risk time frame set by operator is not respected by the software and the related requirement. And this also works in the reverse direction. So once we click to the risk matrix diagram of requirements, and once we click on the same item again, you see the requirement is now in the first column, which is the timer mechanism, and the same risk, which is the time frame set by operator is not respected by the software. So you can have an overview in this two-way direction. Now let's go back and generate our risk. Just simply add a new item, and this will be any movement made by the patient diminishes the record quality. Okay, save this. Now I will click on and go into the detailed view, and the hazard will be this lower quality. These are just for demonstration purposes. This data, the triggering event is the movement of the patient, and the harm is inaccurate diagnosis. Click on save. I will add the likelihood, which now for 3, the severity, which is 70 in this case. Okay, I click on save. Now you see the risk value is automatically calculated by the system. And once we go back to our risk matrix, to traceability, yeah, so for now I forgot to make the connection. Go back to the risks. The software requirements, open up the tree structure bar, go into the detail view, edit, and add this risk as a connected risk. Okay, click on save. Now go back to the wiki section, see the traceability. And now again it appears that we have these sections here. And now for the next step, codeBeamer also comes with the built-in documents section that you can manage and handle your documents very easily. You see this is a summary of our requirements by safety class. I will download it for you and show how it works. So now I downloaded this documentation, and you see this is a summary of requirements by safety class, which contains all your requirements ordered to different safety classes. And I would like to upload a new version to it. I will upload one from my desktop. This is the one. Click on upload. And you see now this is in version number 9. And once I go into its properties, I will download this document again, and I will see, you see this is a new image appearing in our new document. And now I can also restore prior versions, such as I would like to restore the first version of this document. Just simply click on restore this version. Okay, now I restored, and it's now in version number 10. And you see I'm created this, so I'm the responsible person for this document. And also once we go forward, I'm going to show you how you can create baselines, because codeBeamer also comes with this built-in functionality so that you can generate audit trails. And prior to this webinar, I created a baseline number 1 without any modifications to the system. And here I will generate a new baseline, baseline 2, with modifications. I will add also here my electronic signature. Click on OK. I will generate the baseline. It takes a while because my internet connection is not the best now. Okay, here we have our second baseline. You see here, this is me who created this one at this specific point of time. I will select the first baseline and I will compare it to the second one. Compare these selected baselines. And here, this is a preview and the table view of the items have been added, how many been modified, and also you can go directly to the trackers itself and you see which items have been modified, what is the modification exactly, who made this modification, and you can also show the differences, what have been made. You see now this is a new added test case, which is a user interface test case, for example. And also the customer requirements, and this is what we have recently generated. So we added this CT scan prior this webinar. And all these changes can be exported to CSV, Excel, XML, or even to PDF to provide you the audit trails. And so now let's move on to our second template, which is the FMEA. This is also comes with a built-in wiki page which describes its content, and this FMEA is a failure mode and defect analysis is a reliability engineering method to analyze the potential malfunctions and failures of your product, and its parts helps you in order to help the plan the mitigation of these risks. And identifying these risks and potential failures early in the process will let you adapt and to design the process to avoid these risks and saving you development cost and time. And here in the failure mode, you see, I'm gonna go into a detailed view and you will see its properties. So this is very similar to the medical template. Here we have more elaborated and more properties, such as you can see the connected requirement, the failure effect. We have these values like the severity, occurrence, and the detection. And this is the risk priority number here, which is the multiplication of these three values above, such as the detection, occurrence, and severity. But we also have to define a failure cause and the controls, and then we will plan the actions and these values after the mitigation and the actions taken. And this FMEA template is a very generic template. So Christoph previously mentioned about the HFMEA healthcare failure mode and defects analysis, and therefore this can used as a good basic and starting point, because in the HFMEA you don't need the detection numbers, so this is just a matter of configuration and you can create your HFMEA template very easily from this. And further on, you also have the risk matrix diagrams also in this FMEA template, and we created you a failure mode FMEA worksheet view, which contains all the necessary information, such as a summary, which is the name of your failure mode, its status, its connected requirement, failure effect, and all the properties as you could see previously on this detailed view. And this can be also exported to Office. You have various options here, like as a simple Word export, a round-trip Word export, an Excel export as well, and this is also comes with the run trip functionality, and you can export it to Microsoft Project as well. Now I will just use a simple Excel export. Click on OK, and you see this is how it looks like. So it contains all the necessary information and with direct links to the project in codeBeamer. So this is how it looks like. And also, before I move forward, codeBeamer, in the codeBeamer, in both projects, in both templates, we have the built-in test management. So therefore, I'm going to go back to the medical template, go to its trackers, and you can see that these are the test cases. You can define test cases directly to your requirements, just clicking on the plus button, and you can see here you can derive the test case directly from your requirements. And once I go back to the trackers, I will not go very much into detail, therefore we have previous webinars describing how test management works within codeBeamer. But you can define your test cases, then you can order it multiple test cases into a test set, then using different test configurations, and then you can run your test runs, and then after that you can export its results, and also you can reuse everything from your test management, just like as you can reuse your requirements. So basically that was the live demonstration.